Hello and welcome. Tonight on the show, we got all kinds of royalty. We got kings, queens, dukes, and jackasses. Dukes, smooth and creamy mayonnaise, a big, beautiful 32-ounce jar of it. We are so excited to have you here tonight. Thank you for joining us. It means a great deal. This is Sauce Spoken.
And we're back. We are Sauce Spoken. We're the podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. I'll be your host. My name's Adam, and I'm joined here this week by my co-host, Tori.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Tori, and this is Sauce Spoken. We are delighted to have you. Of course, thank you for joining us. And to my right, a great friend and military ally of General So, you wouldn't believe it, our buddy Eric.
One of the newest terracotta warriors.
Terracotta warrior. That sounds cool, Adam. I'd like to see a whole miniature line of that. That'd be really neat looking. Yeah, hi everyone. It's great to be here, and I do like General So's a whole lot. So
calm down, Eric. Oh my God!
As the episode that aired today, their little bonus content at the end. They go in great length about how
and what's today?
What a sauce
Today's
should
June
taste
8th,
like
yeah,
versus
so
what a sauce does taste like versus being compared to another sauce.
Today's June 10th.
Oops.
But the episode that aired today, there was a little Easter egg bonus content at the end where we aired a grievance that Eric had, where he went on a insane, out of his mind, drunken rambling on Chick-fil-A Polynesian sauce, and
it did make the Chick-fil-A episode. So
I made the cut. Yeah.
Didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to the rest of us. Here was how bizarre that argument was during that episode. I remember having the argument during the podcast, and I didn't understand your position at the time. And so then I went back and I listened to it, and I cut it out of the podcast and moved it to the end. And so only the people who really, really like listening to us had to listen to it. And I listened to it again, and it didn't make sense to me again. And then finally, at the end, as I was doing the finishing touches on it, I was like, oh, okay, I understand what your point was. And then I texted you about it, and then we discussed it the next time, and you're like, no, that wasn't my point at all. And I was back to understanding 0%. And I don't want to rehash this.
Nope, we will not.
No. Yeah, I seen the opportunity for the General So, had to take it.
All that being said,
maybe we'll have a General So tasting here.
That'd be awesome. I'd be with that.
Yeah, that actually would be pretty dope. That being said, speaking of arguments, Eric.
Uh-oh.
You've been arguing, you were a little bit fired up before the podcast. We actually missed a lot of quality content that I'm sure that we're sorry we missed, but you're fired up today.
I'm not fired up. I'm ready to be here. I'm alive. I'm well. Kind of well.
Shimmy.
Okay.
We might actually get a good recording out of you because normally you just, my name's Eric. I was busy at work this week.
Yeah.
So my feet really hurt. I got
from kicking so much ass.
That's right.
Because he's roided up.
Why do your feet hurt?
I'm still trying to determine that, actually.
Probably from the bike pedals, bro.
It could be. It could be from the bike pedals. It could be from just, the canoeing, the walking, the more active being.
Yeah, if you have soft shoes.
Yeah.
I know I suffer from arthritis. I may.
Well, you think you do. You've never been diagnosed with it. You think you have gout,
diagnosed, too. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Maybe I have gout instead. Who knows? I would like to. I need to go see a doctor.
You've never been diagnosed with anything.
You got problems with a capital P, my man. Probs. Some serious probs.
I think his problems are psychosomatic.
Yeah, probably more.
Speaking of psychosomatic problems, though, we were speculating. We did finally go on a bike ride, as we mentioned last week. I never did get my x-rays yet because I'm feeling much better. We went kayaking the Saturday after that, and it was pretty painful for me. But you've been getting a lot of exercise lately. You went on a few bike rides. You actually met before we went kayaking. You went up there early and went on a little bike ride without any prompting from me.
I went on a bike ride on my own. What's that? I'm going to screw that word up.
Free will.
Free will. There we go.
I know what word you're trying to think of, but you're missaying it.
Yeah.
Now I can't
obliterating it. Anyways.
Obliterating the abolition.
Your own
blabolition.
Volition.
That's it.
Yeah, so you went up there, and I'm speculating now that all this physical activity, I was saying earlier that your body hasn't gotten used to this level of activity, this level of exercise, especially with your large muscle groups like your legs. and your body, which hasn't produced even a square, even a cubic centimeter of testosterone in eons, is now firing on all cylinders, and you're blasting out with testosterone rage.
Oh, be nice. Please be nice.
That is nice. He's turning purple as we speak.
Simply matching your level of what you think is normal talking. And
normal talking!
Exciting. Yeah. The Mr. Shout Everything. And exactly.
Yeah, it's from all the bike rides,
Happy medium.
Happy medium would be,
fair.
Ideal.
A good start, at least.
Poor listeners are cringing right now.
Oh, they've turned us all off. There's no one listening still. Just our friends and family who are obligated because we ask them.
Pretty sure that maybe my friends and family have stopped.
Especially your sister.
Actually, I even told you about my one friend in
Your dad never
Arizona.
started.
My dad never started. Well,
yeah, we really cheesed off that fella in Arizona.
We did. Hopefully, though, I tried to rope him back in. I told him about all the other sauces we were trying.
I'm going to call him a piece of shit on the show.
Whoa.
Tell us what his name is.
His name's John.
John, you're a piece of shit.
Maybe he'll come on
the first shout out ever.
I'm just kidding. He sounds like he had some valid constructive criticism for us, and for that, fuck you, John.
And for that, we'll send you a couple stickers.
There you
Putting
go.
up with that, we'll send you a couple
shit
stickers.
on him first.
So that way you can plaster them up there in Arizona and try and get ourselves a little more wide spread.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he had some valid points, so at least from the one or two you told us, and it was filtered through you, so who knows what he said originally.
Fair enough.
But all that being said, Eric, how was your week this week? Rage, testosterone boost aside.
Yeah, it
was fine!
Whoa.
It's been really good. It's been busy. I got to go out to a new restaurant, which I've been really excited to try for years, which is actually a chain of restaurants, and it's really not that exciting, but I thought it was exciting. I had a good time. It's called Bonefish Grill. I'm sure many of our listeners have heard of it before.
It's good, yeah.
I like Bonefish Grill. My girlfriend compared it to the Outback of seafood or something like that, which I thought was kind of unfair.
You don't think?
I think that's kind of unfair. I think it's better than Outback.
Exactly what the term that you coined it when we were out canoeing or kayaking. I mean,
I didn't term that.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
We did right before I went.
I know.
So,
but I didn't coin that. That wasn't me.
I said, and I'll stand by this, that I think Bonefish Grill is one step above, maybe two steps above, like say, like a Red Lobster.
Oh, definitely above Red Lobster.
I would say it's at least a step above Red Lobster. I thought it was. I went there and I had what I don't remember specifically what it was, but I thought it was quite nice actually.
And I like Red Lobster.
And I had a good drink that was well mixed. I don't know, the whole experience I thought was pretty good actually.
I used to really like Red Lobster. I feel like they've gone downhill in the last, maybe it's just the locations around here. I don't know. Not to dog on Pittsburgh either. I don't know.
Well, I think that chain restaurants they've settled into their role. I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, whereas a lot of like the older chains, when we were a kid, we were going out to dinner. It was like, howdy kiddies, put on your fucking spats and your fucking britches because we're going to Olive Garden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, that was like fine fucking dining. Like, Mom, do I need to put on a button-up shirt?
Oh yeah, I remember asking those questions.
I'm like, do I need to wear a fucking shirt to Olive Garden?
Yeah.
No, probably not, because they got all you can eat breadsticks. And
probably don't want a shirt in the first place.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But I think that was like our parents' generation, like that was going out to eat. Whereas now, especially in a bigger city like we're in Pittsburgh, not even a big city, but in a decent sized city, a city with options, there's so many individual, unique, non-chain places that are really interesting and do phenomenal dishes and stuff. They stand out. Contrast does, and honestly, a lot of times the price difference is pretty negligible.
Oh, absolutely, that's true. I mean, we dropped, between the two of us, we ordered appetizers and wine and pre-drinks before the meal, and we walked out of there $160, $170
at Bonefish.
At Bonefish,
okay, all right.
For two of us. So.
Nice.
Yeah, Bonefish is a little bit more expensive, I think, though, to be fair. Like, I think that's... that's a little bit on the high side, I think.
It's a little high. I mean, that's just it. Like, yeah, I feel like we could have spent maybe $10 more and gone to Mallorca and had probably a slightly better experience.
All right.
But it's also a chain restaurant, honestly. So
the meal itself was good?
The meal was excellent. I thought.
There's like different levels of chain, though, and I think Olive Garden and, the Darden establishments and Red Lobster are on one tier. Probably not the lowest tier, but like second to lowest tier. I would still put them above an Applebee's.
No doubt.
Yes.
Or McDonald's, if you want to consider that in the same.
That'd be below that.
Well, fast food is the lowest.
The lowest,
right? There's nothing below fast food, and then there's your fast casual, like an Applebee's, and then there's your casual, like Red Lobster, Olive Garden, etc.
Darden's, Smoky Bones,
and then there's your like Bonefish, which is still not like a place. I think Bonefish is like at that level where you will see some people in there dressed casually in like gym clothes, and you will also see some people dressed up nicely for like a fancier dinner.
Sure.
Right. Actually, I got a funny story about this you guys can make fun of me for. As we were leaving after having a wonderful decadent meal at Bonefish Grill.
This was a friend that you locked yourself out of,
Yes.
locked the cat out and almost killed it and stabbed her. And she still took you out to eat after
She
that.
still took me out to eat and bought me a shirt down in Ocean City where she was vacationing.
And bought you a new pet.
And bought me a new pet. I now have a hermit crab. I think is a direct correlation to her thinking I'm just a hermit.
I was going to say, I think she was trying to make a direct comparison there, like two hermits in a house.
Yep. Oh, that's what I saw too. Anyways, no, my belt had broke after eating the meal.
From the testosterone rage.
all that core work you've been doing recently.
All that chewing and stuffing of bread and wine and hey, I've been
How
trying.
did you break a belt though? I've never broken a belt, and that's coming from a thick boy.
So I have those slide belts that you can cut to any length, and that side part just tends to it breaks, and then it's easy to repair. Like it's already fixed.
Is this a Kickstarter?
No,
I'm not sure I know what you're
it
talking
was a
about.
Shark Tank. It was a Shark Tank.
Ugh.
It was a it's a relatively new product. They've only been, I think, slide belts have only been a thing for the last maybe 15
Like ratcheting
years.
slide belts?
Ratcheting slide belts.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is a fucking Kickstarter, essentially.
I guess
You
you
have
want
to
to call it Shark Tank Kickstarter?
Yeah,
I mean, it is.
They're all the fucking
It
same
is.
thing, dude.
Yeah. Negligible.
One goes on TV and one doesn't.
One beams right to your phone and makes it really, really hard to say no.
You'll have to show me this so I can see what you're talking about.
Sure.
What about your week this week, Tori? Anything of interest to report? You're normally a pretty placid dude, and I would say you're still that way. Unlike our angry, raging out friend Eric.
No.
Yeah, all I got through was Monday. If you want me to keep going.
Oh,
you got
okay,
nothing
okay,
else.
go.
Wow.
Okay, I thought you were okay. By all means.
So Monday night, I decided to go for a 2.5 mile hike because
Holy shit!
because
You are.
because of breaking my belt. I figured I had to go get some exercise,
Well done. Okay.
and it was hot as hell.
Yeah.
So that was a real muggy, nasty evening.
Where'd you go on a hike?
Just around here, Oakwood.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, there's some decent hills and whatnot. So
All right.
I worked up a little bit of a sweat, and it was like late. It was 8:30 to 9:30 at night. So it was cool.
Were there any local girls that went missing around that time?
Hilarious. There was a break-in then on Tuesday afternoon a block away from me. Someone's house was broken into, her guns, jewelry, cash all stolen, and her dog was poisoned.
I heard that story.
Dog was poisoned.
Yeah.
Why would you
Yeah.
do that?
It's pretty messed up.
Yeah,
that's
that
pretty
is-
So I've been
yeah.
setting my house alarm again
That
because I
seems
hadn't
like-
gotten lax on that.
Personal.
Yeah, so that seems like someone you know did
Yeah.
that. If they're poisoning your dog,
Yeah, it was really messed up.
there's no call for that otherwise.
Tuesday I went out for game night. We played Sushi Go Party, which was super awesome. We have the traditional game that we all have played before, Sushi
Right.
Go. Sushi Go Party adds a few more cards and like a
Expansion
board.
packs
Yeah, expansion packs.
from
It's
Kickstarter.
cool. I'm sure. Yeah, Sushi Go was Kickstarter.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Most
Every
board
time.
games these days are. I don't know. I feel like a lot of
I get all
don't
mine
think
from
that's
Target,
true.
bro.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. I think in your mind they are.
a
or
lot of those
Amazon.
ones from Target were originally like the Throw Burrito was Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Kickstarter has an agreement exclusively with Target now.
Yeah, but I
Nice.
think this is
Yeah.
one of those deals kind of like
I
they
think
say,
they-
if all you have is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. I think you're just like, you like board games and Kickstarter. I think that's your deal.
Guilty. Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
Right?
There you go. Hey, you know what you like.
So what
Absolutely.
hour are we up to now on your weekly
That
itinerary
was
here?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Wednesday, I went out and visited my friends up in Swickley, PA. It's just north of the city. I had to
You want
help
to call
do
them
some.
out so I can call them pieces of shit too?
Nope,
No.
nope.
Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I like them. I know who you're referring to.
Yeah.
They're good people.
And I helped move a bunch of flower pots. I helped them rebuild a couple picnic tables. They're setting up for a big party that I'm going to be helping them out with. So,
And tell us now about Thursday on the Eric L. Show.
yeah, it brings us to today. Every day,
Right.
got something exciting going on. So,
Dang.
today we're recording.
Busy,
No,
angry,
no, I'm never
testosterone-filled
busy.
man.
I'm the snap taking.
You
nothing.
tell us about this stuff. That you act like you. This is what we were talking about earlier too, because you say things and you just assume people won't believe you. You tell us about all these fucking naps and stuff you're taking, about how you don't get stuff done, and then you're like, "Why would you think I wasn't busy?" And then you tell us about the nap that you took. And you do this on a regular basis.
Hey, I'm proud as hell of you, man. A 2.5 mile hike or whatever. That's a ways, dude. And to do that by yourself, good on you, bro.
I am proud of you for
Thanks.
that. I do think you should call my ass up some more often, and we can fucking go together. But that's fine if you fuck me, go by yourself.
You're a ways away. I mean, I suppose I could have called you, but it's kind of late.
Now, allow me to ask you this. Were you lacking?
12 fucking minutes down the road.
12. Oh, it's a little longer than 12 minutes. But I
It's
like the
right
way,
around
I like
12 minutes.
your ambition there. That's a new goal for me to set there on the highway. Me and
Did
my
you?
lead
No. But did you drive somewhere to go hiking, or did you just leave straight from your house?
No, I left straight from my house.
Okay. All right. Can I
Anyway,
ask
there
Tori
you
how
go.
his week was now?
you did ask him. Well, do you have anything
You're
more to
raising your
elaborate
fist at
on?
him.
I am not.
Yeah, you are. You're beet red. You're filled with testosterone. You're raising your fists to us.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around what you used the word. I think I know what it means. Placid.
Oh, yeah. Placid. Like you're calm.
Help me out. Okay. That's what I thought. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up. And, my weekly wrap-up is sort of boring.
How's your cats?
Oh, they're good. Of course. I mean, they're cats, dude.
You threw one on the Insta today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bonus. I got
Piece of shit.
a bonus cute cat pic. If you have to go back a few weeks now that you're listening.
Right, you'll have to go back in time.
Because we do record in advance.
A little bit in advance.
Yeah, but yeah, the kitty cats are great. I mean, the orange one, he's getting big. He's too big. He needs to stop growing because he's
it's almost time to get rid of him and get a new kitten.
Right? Yeah, get a brand new one. Trade him in for a bowling ball.
You know what? This one's done.
Yeah,
he's not soft anymore.
But yeah, he's a little angel. I went to the gym again. We're doing that. I tried deadlifting. I embarrassed myself.
You shit your pants.
No, not
just
quite,
a little bit.
Not quite to that degree, but boy, it was
blood.
It was obvious that I haven't done anything quite, at least using that muscle group in quite a long time. I mean, and that was embarrassing. Well, I don't know.
Deadlifting is hard,
dude. That is hard shit, and it was straight leg deadlifting, which I there is a difference. I had that trainer fellow there, so I'm banking that he knew what he was talking about.
Oh, I'm sure.
But oh man.
The whole idea of it just sounds
killing me.
Yeah, painful. I'm sure were you practicing with just the bar, or were you using some weights?
I had one 15-pound dumbbell, and each of my hands was holding the bulb of the dumbbell.
Oh, okay.
It was unbelievable.
Okay. When you start getting good at deadlifts with a bar, specifically, there's two different grips, and your wife will tell you about that.
Oh, I've heard all about them.
You can do this, or that.
That's over and under and over for listeners.
Mixed grip, as they call it.
Oh, mixed grip.
Mixed grip is what I normally do. But if you do them both overhand like that, then you start getting good at that. Then you can transition into doing like your power cleans and stuff. That's like that Olympic thing where they start on the ground, lift it up, do the tuck, bring it up to their shoulders, and then press it.
Right.
I have no interest in doing that shit.
That's hard. Yeah. That takes some real fucking coordination.
I have zero interest in it.
Yeah, I've done that, and that shit is... Probably they won't even let you do that in a gym. Maybe at a powerlifting gym they would, but a lot of gyms won't even let you do that shit because...
Not interested.
Too violent. Too much weight flying around.
Yeah, so that whooped my ass. So that was that.
Well, so we've been talking a lot this week about, like some violence and how people are getting fired up and they're getting feisty and they're wanting to fight. And one of the things you do when you fight is you put your dukes up.
Ooh.
And for that, this week, we're going to put our dukes up because we're going to be trying family recipe since 1917, Duke's Mayonnaise. Smooth and creamy. And this was, we teased this one a little bit in our last episode because this was actually the other one that we brought out to our little Memorial Day gathering. And I had tried it before then, but that was kind of like when we all tried it first time for the podcast.
Right.
And,
did you try it, Tori?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah. And I had some on my hamburger at the time. My hamburger, not cheeseburger. That may have made
your
the podcast.
hamburger.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The hamburger saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting too much meat in your diet probably partially responsible for your testosterone rage.
I have been eating
quinoa.
Eating all kinds of
so much protein.
Freebie food.
But do you want to go ahead and give us a little rundown of what we're looking at there, Tori, on the outside of the container?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a quite large plastic jar, a yellow lid, and we have emblazoned on the front, Duke's. It's got twang. Excuse me. Find recipes at dukesmayo.com. Yeah, the label itself is yellow. It's a band across the center of that plastic jar that I mentioned with an oval or maybe an egg shape, dead nut center, and that's navy. And entombed within that is a golden Duke's inscribed in maybe sort of an old style cursive. I think the label itself almost looks like a sort of a time warp. It says it's since 1917, but to me, this packaging and the way this is put up and with the various ribbons and labels and scripts and things like that, I think you could pull this off a shelf in 1963 and not think anything of it. Not to say that that's bad. I like it, but I think it has a certain retro appeal
it does.
to it.
I agree.
So as we continue, they highlight the different southern sauces there are, and Mr. Magoo got to see what the hell's going on here. Wow, that is really hard to see. The Mississippi Comeback, Alabama White Barbecue. There's another white barbecue for you.
Wow, okay.
Georgia Sweet Heat, Carolina Gold, Hickory Moonshine.
Damn,
that might be wild.
That sounds pretty good.
And Tennessee something in whiskey, smoking whiskey.
Tennessee, touch your ass.
Yeah, so they're showcasing their other bottles. Oddly enough, they show them in a different jar size than what we have here in front of us. This is 32 ounces, by the way.
Still 32 ounces, isn't it?
Yeah, still, that's right. Yeah, they're still 32, still Dre. It's rich in omega-3s, so I wasn't aware this is a health food. So there you go.
Well,
that's debatable, I think.
That was a joke also, but
yeah. Omega-3s are good for you.
Yeah, and I do think they're coming from the oil that they're using, I'm sure. So
yeah.
We'll get on to the ingredients later, but I think ultimately the only thing that you actually need to use in order to create a mayo is eggs and oil.
Yeah.
I think those are the only two mandatory ingredients, and I think that they usually add an acid after that to kind of help it hold the emulsion, but I think that those are the only two things that are actually required. And I also think a lot of people call that an aioli, which I think there's really no... there probably is some difference that we could be real nitpicky about, but I think in general, aioli is basically functionally equivalent to just saying mayonnaise.
Just not fancy.
Yeah, not fancy. Well, people don't want to dip their fries in mayonnaise. They want to dip it in aioli. I think that's the key. Although that is something that they do in Germany. One of my friends, when she was a kid, she lived in Germany for a while. I think she listens to this podcast. She might. Hi, Sarah. No, we'll do her little shout out. Piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding. She's not.
Oh,
no, She's not. I'm just kidding. She'll laugh. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Anyways, I remember when we were on a trip with her and a group of people, and I remember her dipping her fries in mayonnaise, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? She's like, this is what they do in Europe, and I'm like, that shit's whack.
Wow.
I think they do that in Canada, too.
I heard about it in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
I think everywhere but America, where we have this beautiful red delicious condiment that we base our podcast ratings on.
We sure do.
But I think actually we're going to kind of spoil us a little bit, but honestly, I think in this type of a condiment, I think dipping some fries might be delightful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways, before we get into that, Eric, do you want to go ahead and give us a little bit of a visual description of what we're looking at on the inside of the jar?
I'll certainly do my best. It's not a very exciting
here we go.
Sauce to describe. It's your typical white, creamy looking sauce. It holds up to the blizzard test. You tilt the jar and it doesn't really move. It has a slight little shake to it if you get a little motion going to it. Maybe like a little Jell-O kind of motion to it if you're really trying. Actually, it was interesting. I think, Adam, when you came in here, you shook it violently.
I did.
Oh, Tori did.
I don't remember that.
And when I opened it up to make a sandwich for us to try it on, I'd already pre-ate using this myself before you guys got here. So
I pre-poisoned it for us.
Right. And it was very airy and kind of, what's the word for it? It looked sort of like a weird blotchiness to it. But after you shook it up, it was very creamy and good looking. So
wow.
I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, the texture had totally changed from after being shaken.
I do think you're right. Have you ever had a tub of sour cream? And
yes.
When you get sour cream, you can almost cut it with a knife into slices if you wanted.
Right.
But then if you take that knife and you just mix it up, it becomes more liquidy.
More liquidy, sure.
But then if you leave it in the fridge,
the same way.
Yeah, say anything like that, it'll kind of settle back. And I think that's what you're describing with this. It's kind of that same type of thing where it settles kind of into a sliceable.
Right, and I was going to even mention, that if you look at the very bottom of the jar, it didn't necessarily get shaken up, so it still has these little pockets of air throughout it. So it has this sort of looks almost like Swiss cheese had formed into at the bottom. That would be a good way of describing it.
I like the air pockets.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
For some reason, I associate air pockets with a higher quality mayonnaise or something. I don't know why I think that, but no, I initially had grabbed this, I don't know, I want to say it was earlier this year. I grabbed it months ago, and I'd never tried this before. And I grabbed a very small jar because I had some recipe that I actually needed mayonnaise for. And I was going to go ahead and grab your default Hellmann's. Normally, I'm much more a fan of the Miracle Whip. as we have mentioned previously on the show. Eric and I are more fans of that. And I've been an American Whip man all my life. Never cared for the Hellmann's. Didn't think mayo had any taste. Didn't care for it. Much prefer the American Whip with the spice and the zest. And I grabbed a little jar of this because I thought, okay, I'm going to use it for this one dish, and I'll never use any other mayo for anything else. So I'll just get the smallest one they have. And I tried it on something, and it blew my fucking socks off.
He's a believer.
I know. I said, we're getting way into this advance, but I will say this. Once I tasted it, I was like, shit, we have to do this on the podcast. This shit is so fucking good. And I don't even know fully what it is, but there is something way better about this to me than it's so similar to like your typical Hellmann's stuff, but it's also so much fucking better. But it's not like with those added ingredients of the Hellmann's. You know what I mean?
I can't say I've ever read an ingredient list on a Hellmann's.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Miracle Whip is what I meant to say.
Miracle Whip. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
There's none of the blue and red flecks in it or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. Miracle Whip definitely has something else going on that gives it like extra tanginess to it, but it's also like it's runnier and like thinner, like it spreads thinner.
Right.
It's real, like, I always equate it to, it's really more of a dressing. I always think. I think Miracle Whip is great to make a pasta salad with, or other things like that, like coleslaw.
Tuna
It's
salad.
meant to be tuna salad. Excellent, right? It's really a good mixer where and I always call it mayo. I never ever call it mayonnaise. I never say the whole word. I just don't.
I don't normally call it mayonnaise either, but
Okay.
I think most people probably say mayo.
I'm sure most people shorten
How many people say it like I said, where they say mayonnaise?
What about Mayonnaise?
Well, I think that's a very limited subset of people that say that, Tori. And I think it's limited primarily to us.
You're probably right.
Your wife actually texted that in the group chat. She said, maybe one of you should get Max Mayonnaise for the Memorial Day celebration. And I said, I already got some. And no one else knew what we were talking about, but
I knew what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Max Mayonnaise.
Someone else didn't, AK or other Adam. Big A, as we call him.
Big boy.
Not Big Gay, Big A, as we previously iterated. But no, like I said, I don't think the Miracle Whip forms those little air pockets either.
No, I don't. No, it does not. Absolutely.
And there is like a different texture, and I do think that this is almost like fluffier and lighter than that, like you said, whereas that is almost more like goopier texture, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. But without further ado, do you want to go ahead and lead us off in some of your initial tasting notes there, Eric?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. It's definitely lives up to what it says right on there. It is smooth. It is creamy. There is no heat level needed for this. General Tso's is nowhere near. But
it's almost as spicy as the Polynesian sauce.
Almost.
Let's get back into this debate. Yeah, the crowd goes wild.
It was only relevant because of the way this episode started. Anyways,
yeah, it's fair.
Let's see how many more episodes we can shoehorn this into. We're still talking about fucking olive oil over here. Which olive oil went into this? Well, not the green one.
And and that's funny they bring that up because as we said, eggs and oil is all that really is required for this, and you don't really get like a real oiliness from it. It's just creamy, tasty. I don't know. It's kind of a tough thing to describe to someone who hasn't had mayonnaise before,
or even a Max Mayonnaise,
or Max Million,
or even a Max Mayonnaise.
It's funny. I was actually every time I hear the full mayonnaise, I think of the 1990s Doug TV show.
Oh, his girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Mayonnaise.
Patty
Mayonnaise. That's
Patty
right.
Mayonnaise. Right. I thought it was Patty.
Anyways, no, I don't really have a whole lot to say other than it's a really good mayo. I don't know, how would you describe it, Tori?
Poof, you nailed it, dude. It's mayonnaise in a jar. That yeah.
Words are failing us.
Yeah, I mean, if you can imagine something like that with a yellow label, boy, you don't even need Instagram at that point, I suppose. I mean, because your mind's eye is spot on.
There you go. It's a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
I do think, and this is hard for me to describe it on its own, just because, like you said, it's such a simple thing. It's such a basic thing. It's kind of hard. And it is made to be just kind of like a neutral supporting agent. It's not really meant to stand out, I think, on its own a lot. So a lot of my points are going to be in comparison to like a Hellmann's or like a Miracle Whip. Like I said, it has a little bit of zest. It has a little bit of twang. You definitely notice it, and I assume that's from whatever acid they're using to kind of keep the emulsification there. And I do think that comes through, but it's subtle. And a lot of what I got was I like that fluffiness. I like the air pockets in it. You don't get that with Miracle Whip. You do get that a little bit with the Hellmann's, but I still think this has a much more pleasant texture than the Hellmann's does. Because this almost seems like more of like a natural texture, whereas the Hellmann's almost seems like kind of like more artificially whipped or something to me.
No
I don't know what it is.
Hmm.
So I like the texture definitely better, but to me, I get a lot of like almost like, and you had mentioned this too, Tori, like a butteriness from it. Like it's almost like you're eating like butter, but
You just stole all my thunder.
well, no, I was gonna say like if you put a big ass swatch of butter across a burger or something like that, I feel like that would be a little, nauseating. What this, it works perfectly and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, actual just straight up butter hits, it hits that flavor, like, more, but it's also going to, in my case, give me more heartburn. It hits a little, it's too rich. That's the word I'm looking for. It's just too rich.
It's very rich.
Whereas mayonnaise has been mixed with the egg yolks, and it's just oil-based, and it has still achieves that buttery flavor without being over the top. Without being over the top rich, is just like slathering on straight butter.
Wow. Yeah, I was tracking you boys hard. I mean, without tipping my hand too much. I considered this to be the best part about Hellmann's. You take that, and then you take the best part of a pat of butter on a nice warm piece of toast. Boom, and that's what you got.
That's a great way to describe it.
That's really good, actually.
Yeah.
I do think you get a little bit of that, like I said, the twang or whatever they're calling it, a little bit through too. Whatever it does, and it's hard to boil this down scientifically. We can get into the ingredients later, but whatever it does, it is such a perfect supporting agent. Like it really elevates whatever you put it on. And I think that was like the key thing for me was I tried it on a few different things, and we'll get into what we tasted it on here in a moment. But I think it was really like we had mentioned before, sometimes things are lead on their own, sometimes they're a supporting actor, and I think this was best supporting actor. That's the award it would win to me.
Yeah, that's
while still being
fair.
detectable. It's not like it doesn't get washed out either.
No, I have to agree. I think it's interesting you mentioned how buttery and fluffy in the texture, and I do want to point out though that we are eating the original non-light version, and I think when they try and come out with those light versions, they tend to get a little more like our Miracle Whip, a little more
right.
denser, gooier, a little bit runnier. You gotta have the good stuff. You gotta
if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it.
That's my thought too. I have a heavy hand when it comes to this stuff, and so I'll put it on pretty thick, and it is high in calories. I mean, we're not going to beat around the bush. It's not a health food like you were joking earlier, Tori. You do get your omega-3s.
It's oil and egg yolk. What do you expect?
I mean, maybe if you're on a keto diet, where you're low carb, I think it'd be fine for that.
Yeah,
you can eat the whole fucking jar of it if you
rock on.
Right?
Just eat it with a spoon.
Cool.
Put your bacon bits in there and just fucking go to town.
Nice.
Every tablespoon's 100 calories. It's not that bad.
Right. So it's pretty calorically dense. That being said, I feel like the better option is just use half as much. Don't go for that light option because you're it's worse than just using half as much. You know what I mean? Using a regular amount of light is still worse than using half as much of this, I think.
No doubt.
You're compromising too much.
Yeah, there it is.
Too much of a compromise. So I do want to talk about what we tasted this on. Do you want to go ahead and kick that off for us there, Eric? I know, like I said, we initially tasted this at Memorial
Day on hamburgers. I think we all had it on hamburgers. No one put this on a hot dog.
I put on a cheeseburger.
Yeah, mine was also a cheeseburger too.
Yeah.
Hamburgers and
Everyone
cheeseburgers.
except for you had it on a cheeseburger, but I was told at one point when we had 8 people gathered around watching me grill, putting the pressure on, saying, "Oh, make some without cheese for me! I've never eaten cheese before."
And you're so graciously obliged.
I know, I
appreciate
didn't complain in the slightest.
Oh, not in the slightest.
Didn't call you a piece of shit or anything, despite it being applicable.
Man.
Anyways.
All that grease and cheese, you probably farted all the way home, didn't you?
Oh, for sure.
Wow, nice.
It's honestly how I make my gasoline stretch.
Yeah, he's got a hybrid. It just hooks up. His seat has the little tube that hooks up into it. I'm gonna eat some cheese, and on the way home, that's why he goes so fast. He can't even control it. Sets his cruise control to 55. Next thing you know, he looks down. He's going 90.
Like Nas.
That thing is fucking redlining. It's like all 3.5 cylinders.
Where was I driving from? Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, what we tried it on. So. All right, I tried it, on a hamburger myself. You guys tried it on cheeseburgers. Tonight, we made some Black Forest ham and Colby Jack cheese.
Wow. You made a sandwich for yourself.
I made a sandwich for myself that had provolone.
I texted the group and I said, what should we have this on? It would be so delightful on such a wide berth of things. And you said, I'm going to make a sandwich. And then
I'll make a sandwich for myself.
I got here. There was no fucking sandwich. And then you said, I was making a sandwich for me. I just didn't reply to your text about what we're going to try it on, but I just meant I was making it for me.
Oh, I did reply. I said carrots would be fine to dip this in. I also have some broccoli in the fridge.
And celery. What type of a psychopath?
Tori brought
fucking carrots. A tomato is normal.
A tomato
makes sense, because that's something you would find on a sandwich or a cheeseburger. A fucking carrot stick is not going to make its way into your fucking burger, and you're not going to put fucking mayo on it.
No, but I did say this would make excellent for even this one, even though I said, Miracle Whip is really good in salads, but so would this. You can absolutely use this to make a pasta salad.
A fucking carrot stick salad?
You're going to have carrots and peas and pasta, yeah.
That would be fire with tuna fish. That would be out of this world
awesome.
with tuna fish.
I was leading up to, like, if there was going to be a recipe, I think I'm going to deflect and say this needs to be a Tory one. This is your specialty right here.
He's going to flip the script on me and totally,
This is your specialty right here, because you do supposedly make a famous tuna fish.
I mean, it's crunchy with tons of celery, to your point.
Damn. I'm sure it's good. Celery is great with mayo.
A lot of crunch, a little bit of olive. Maybe not with this mayonnaise, but if you get a chintzy mayonnaise, I like some olives in it, a little bit of salt, really zips it up. Yep.
So, yeah, that's where we tried it on. Black Forest ham sandwiches with various types of cheese, and mine had lettuce, your guys' had tomato. I tried it on just tomato itself, which I think was probably the best, actually. I like that better than even in my sandwich or on my hamburger. It was just slathered right on a slice of tomato. That was
I do like it with I like how they have at Wendy's. They've got the spicy chicken sandwich, and they'll usually get a nice slice of tomato on there, and then they'll load that puppy with mayo. And I don't think it's Duke's, but that also, I do like that a lot. I would love it if they put Duke's on there instead. And on the way over here,
you should request that just specifically.
No mayonnaise.
Hand them the Duke's and say, "Can you put this on for me, please? Like 8 tablespoons, please." No, we did actually try. We made an attempt. Traffic was pretty bad coming over here tonight. It was much more than the 12 minutes I previously estimated. We did try to make an attempt at the infamous Burger King that we've had prior incidents with, and the line was going to take 4 fucking hours, and so I peeled out of line. I hit some old lady. I knocked her down in the bushes, and I just peeled the fuck out of there, and I said, we're not waiting any fucking longer at this Burger King. Probably won't even take our fucking credit cards, so...
As I was going to say, as they've done to you in the past.
Yeah, I wanted to just get a plain-ass fucking burger. One plain-ass fucking burger to try this on tonight. It wasn't fucking worth it. Not even with cheese? With the cheese! You were going to have them leave the cheese off of it! Piece of shit.
The cheese.
I think you just specifically did that because you knew it would piss me off.
Of course I said that.
Hey, there you go.
Shit. You are gotten real spunky lately.
Play the game.
I liked it back when you were like depressed and sad and all the time, and when I could just kick you around and you didn't fucking say anything.
Now he's the wild card. He's a true rogue.
I've built up your self-esteem too fucking much. I got you at exercise. I got you fucking talking to girls and
breaking in windows.
Hot shit. Yeah, breaking in windows.
I did do that. That's right.
That'd take you fucking down a peg.
Just breaking somewhere else down next. No,
yeah, that was fun.
Down the street.
That was fun.
Once my shoulder's done healing, we break in somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I hear there's a fucking poison dog fur.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, that was not nice.
No, that was not pleasant.
That is bizarre. It had to have been something.
That had to have been a personal thing, dude.
It's bizarre. It's totally bizarre.
Speaking of poison, why don't you go ahead and read us the ingredients, Eric?
I certainly hope there's no poison in this.
Oh, I certainly hope not. You are a poisoner. You're the sneaky piece of shit. You would poison someone.
I was the one, actually, when I first had my first sandwich before you guys got here, I thought, this was left out all damn Memorial Day. Like,
it wasn't all day. It was a couple hours. It was a couple hours.
Okay. We might all be regretting ourselves later here. We'll see.
I think it's fine. I mean, to our point, too, it is eggs, and yes, it is oil, but I mean, I don't know. I think mayonnaise sits out a lot longer than that in a lot of other places, and it was out for a few hours, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We could all be shitting our brains out later, but...
you know what also helped, I think, is that you brought it fresh, unopened. Yes. It was still table, like, shelf, like, stable and all that, you know, like, was the way you say that. Anyways, shelf stable, and, it wasn't refrigerated and then warmed back up. Like, I think that's a key thing, too. It just went from, like, air conditioning to hot.
Well, that's kind of my point. Like, it does matter. Like, we didn't eat that much out of it. It's still mostly full. And the thing about it is, the sealing there is supposed to be a perfect vacuum seal. But honestly, if you tighten that lid down pretty tight, you're getting a pretty good seal anyways. And you got to figure that good vacuum seal on there, and it'll sit on the shelf for, years. I think it can sit outside with a lighter seal on it for, a couple hours.
Yeah, that's funny you brought that up. Actually, I was trying to figure out what the Best By date was on here, or is. It's cut off. I'm thinking it's November 28th of 23.
I would believe that. That sounds right.
So that's pretty far out there.
Oh, dude, you'll crush that.
Oh, yeah, it won't last that long. No way.
Oh, I've already gone through like 4 jars of this since I discovered it.
You'll blow that away.
There's a reason I bought the big one instead of the smaller ones, and it's because I'm taking that fucking home with me tonight.
I figured.
Yeah, I figured too. Alrighty.
I'm almost out at home, so that's why.
Alright, the wonderful ingredients that make up Duke's mayonnaise is soybean oil, egg yolks, water, distilled and cider vinegar,
Alright.
salt.
A lot of dead air here.
That oleo resin,
Okay.
paprika.
Paprika.
There you go.
I think it's oleo resin paprika. Like, it's all in one. There's no comma. But
Yeah, I think you can have that oleo resin stuff like of anything, I think. I did a little bit of research and I've already kind of forgotten what it was, but I think that's just
Okay.
kind of like essential oil, essential oil of paprika. Essence
Gotcha.
of.
Essence of. All
I think
right.
it's kind of like that.
Yeah, we're down near the bottom here anyways. Natural flavors, calcium disodium, EDTA.
Ah, yes, Eric, dick, tits, and ass, right? We mentioned before.
Right. Added to protect the flavor.
What else? What more would you want?
Protect the sweaty man flavor in it. Cool, yeah, I mean, that was kind of what I expected. So they're, that is, like we mentioned earlier, your classic, from what I understand, I don't fuck around with making homemade mayos. If I'm going to get it, I'll just buy some and add shit to it. I'll admit to that. I'm not making aiolis at home. Your wife probably is, Tori. Amy, she probably would make an aioli.
Oh, yeah, that wife.
For health. That wife. Wow. Hopefully she doesn't fucking hear that one.
You specified, you bonehead. That's why I made the joke.
All right.
Your wife, Amy.
Sure she'll buy off on that. She won't know how much we cut out of this. No, I'm just kidding. But I've never made it myself. But like I said, my understanding is that all you need for that emulsification to occur are the eggs and the oil. And then...
I've seen it done. I watched my grandmother do it, and I've maybe seen my mom. I think, yeah, I've seen my mom do it once.
Okay. But I think the acid is added to kind of like keep it from falling out of that suspension, or emulsification, I think, is the idea. And
I think it gives it a little flavor, too.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, I think, but the reason I think it's added, I think it does give it flavor, and I think they chose specifically what acids they wanted to use for flavor reasons. And I think, like the paprika, the oleo resin of paprika.
Yes.
I think that is for flavor too. But yeah, I think that, that I like it when we have the fewer ingredients like that. I don't know. Maybe you have some Miracle Whip in your cupboard, but I have to imagine it's got more fucking ingredients than that in it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have one right now. I'm all out. But
we'll speculate.
But yeah, I'm sure it does. Or we could always look it up. But
no, that's okay. We'll speculate.
We'll
do Miracle Whip at another point, I'm sure.
Really? You think?
Well, maybe. Why not?
Maybe.
There's variations of that, isn't there? Miracle Whip?
I'm excited even for the variations that you were reading off on the side of Duke's there. I think
that's real.
I think there's some amazing, interesting combinations
Yeah.
there. What do they call them? They don't call them...
They appear to be in squeeze bottles, too. Could you imagine the consumption level with a squeeze bottle? You don't even need a knife.
Yeah, that's
Squeeze
a good point.
bottle southern sauces, they call them. And
Wow.
they sound delish.
I
So-
do wonder if your friend John, with the valid criticisms, would consider this to be like a major brand name, or if he would consider this to be a more minor player. Because to me, I think this is like a major national chain. Like, you can probably find this in a lot of grocery stores, if not all.
It looks like it on their website here. It looks like the whole U.S. is lit up with...
But this was totally under my radar until 6
Yeah.
months ago.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've never heard of this.
Me neither.
So to me, I would consider that to be a pretty major brand. But on the other hand, I do think we're doing people a service by, kind of broadcasting it.
Absolutely. It's, worth broadcasting because it is a very delicious...
Next time you call your fucking friend, tell him that.
Wow.
Tell him he's not your fucking friend anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
One of the nice things about podcasts is they can always read the title and decide to listen to it or not,
That's true. That's a very good point.
Be on the lookout for other more interesting sauces, John.
Well, it looks like they have a whole smorgasbord of fucking items on their website. They do have a light mayonnaise, which that shit's whack. We already said.
Yep. See ya.
Let's just blast through the rest of these. They've got, there's a light mayonnaise with olive oil. Notice the green coloring on it. What's the next one here?
Duke's hint of lime mayonnaise. We got
Also green.
bacon and tomato flavored mayo. Cucumber dill flavored mayo. That sounds really good. Fire roasted red pepper fire flavored mayo.
Let's take turns. Tori, you get the next one.
We have habanero garlic flavored mayo. Yeah, we're all effing up tonight. Creamy potato salad dressing.
Eric.
A southern style coleslaw dressing.
Tori.
Spicy. Well, you're going too fast. Spicy coleslaw dressing.
Eric.
Sandwich relish. Hey, we need to try that.
Allie. Yeah, we got to hit our buddy
yeah.
up because this apparently is the Duke's version of the one that we spoiled in transit.
Yeah, it looks just like it.
Whoever's next, Tori.
Tartar.
Eric.
Alabama style white barbecue sauce.
No, that doesn't look very white to me. That looks more like a pinkish color, doesn't it?
It does.
That might be another one in comparison to our ivory barbecue sauce that we tried.
Hopefully it tastes better.
I don't remember that tasting bad. That was just very simple.
It was a
like
salad
very,
dressing, yeah.
It was very like vinegary and
Very vinegary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very traditional style barbecue.
Tori next.
Georgia Sweet Heat BBQ.
Eric.
Tennessee smoke and whiskey barbecue
Tori.
sauce.
Carolina Gold BBQ.
Eric.
Hickory moonshine barbecue sauce.
Tori.
Ooh, and that Mississippi come back sauce.
Now that I would love to try. I think did we talk about
what
that?
the hell's a
already?
comeback sauce?
No, I've never.
Is that a thing?
They put that on. So do you guys remember my story about that chicken restaurant, the one that burned me from fucking tit to tassel?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah, chicken.
That one I was telling you the story about how I tried 3 bites of those nuggets and I was bleeding out my asshole for the next 3 days.
Oh, dear.
I actually do think that did some internal damage to me, if we're being honest. I think it's still suffering side effects from that. But they put a comeback sauce on that, and it's kind of like that. Yeah, I remember if you go all the way back to like episode 1, we tried like that fry sauce. I think it's kind of like that, just your generic like mayonnaise-based orange sauce with some other flavorings in it. Not quite like a special sauce, but like I said, more like that fry sauce. I think that's just kind of like your comeback sauce. I could be wrong about that.
I'll be darned.
Thought it was what your adventurous girlfriend would say.
Are you trying to make a lewd joke about
I
my
was.
girlfriend? You piece of shit! I'm gonna fucking beat your ass
Well
after
done,
the
E.
podcast.
Nice. Get in there.
If I wanted my own comeback, I'd. How about that? There's a better fucking.
Ooh,
We'll have to cut that one out. We'll believe that.
Probably just bleed the whole thing. We
Yeah,
can cut
delete the whole
thing.
podcast.
They got stickers?
they've got
I got a bumper
merchandise.
sticker.
Whoa, that's cool.
They have stickers. They're charging $3 for their stickers. Ours are free if you guys hit us up.
That's right.
They've got t-shirts, polo shirts,
That's a cool shirt there.
100th anniversary shirts.
For the burger hugging the mayonnaise. I like that.
Oh, yeah, that is a cute one. It reminds me of the Brighton Hot Dog Shop artwork.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a hat. They've got a Duke's book. They've got all kinds of merchandise on their website.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
I mean, they've been around since 1917. They're doing something right. They know how to advertise, apparently.
And they had to mix a bunch of eggs.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so they've got a frequently asked questions. Let's just scan that and see if there's anything good on there. Are they gluten-free? Yes. Are they kosher? Yes. What else do we see here? Can I cook with Dukes? No. No, you may not. You need explicit permission from Dukes.
Or baking a chocolate cake.
Yeah, I have heard that. And this is something I wanted to kind of touch on. There's a variety of uses because of those really simple ingredients, you can use it for a lot of things that people wouldn't think. I think that one thing they may say on here, grilled cheese.
Yep, grilled
you can
cheese.
actually put it on the outside of grilled cheese instead of butter.
I hear it's 10 times better, actually.
Oh, I've heard it's very good. I heard
Yeah.
it makes it nice and crispy and crunchy.
Wow.
Something I would definitely
Something
like
I
to
think
try.
you can do with mayonnaise, not recommended with Miracle Whip, if I'm not mistaken.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Let's see here. Should it be refrigerated after opening? That seems relevant to us. Yes. Immediately after opening. No, it doesn't say that, but they do say it's recommended to refrigerate Duke's mayo. But it only says to protect the great flavor and wholesome ingredients. It doesn't say for your personal intestinal safety.
They got no FDA warning on there.
No food safety after all. Maybe it is a farce this whole time.
Maybe it's a
still
myth.
good.
Yeah.
It just says that high temperatures
This is
will
more for you,
accelerate loss of fresh flavor. It can result in browning and off flavors. Ugh. Oh, wow. There is. Okay, so what is real mayonnaise? Mayonnaise, as defined by the USDA Standard of Identity, must contain at least 65% oil by weight, vinegar, and egg, or egg yolks. Wow. Okay, it contain natural seasonings except turmeric and saffron. As yellow color might suggest added egg yolk. That's interesting.
That is.
So you're not even allowed to fake it with artificial coloring. So this is like a protected fucking class right
Nice.
I feel like saffron would be real expensive.
Yeah.
Do dishes made with mayonnaise become rancid in the heat? A common misconception about mayonnaise is that salads made with it become rancid at heat and can cause illness as a result of spoiled mayo. Highly acidic, it says, with a pH between 3.8 and 4.6, which prevents harmful bacteria from growing in food. So we're fucking square with
Wow.
this shit,
You should throw this in your trunk, bro.
yeah,
This
dude.
is amazing.
Age it in your fucking cupboards, dude. That's actually really cool. So we actually did learn something there.
Man, Dukes is definitely earning an Instagram follow from us.
Yeah, that we may already be following them, actually. We'll have to hit them up, though, because this shit's tight.
Yeah.
The rest of this seems more corporate oriented, but that's really cool. Actually, I learned something. That's neat.
Yeah, that's pretty damn
So
cool.
this shit is, so we can definitively answer that to both your point and to Tori's wife, who's a little bit, careful about this kind of thing. Totally fucking safe. We can boil that on the stove if we want. It'll be fine. Neat. I'm glad we learned that.
Just slightly off-colored, but it'd be good. Safe to eat.
Well,
Amazing.
after learning about all that fun stuff you can do with mayo, like baking your cakes or putting on grilled cheese, after learning a new fact about how it's impossible to ever get sick from eating mayo, and that we learned that it's a health food from those omega-3s, and mostly after trying it on all these delicious sandwiches, burgers, assorted other items, and speculating about it on fries, why don't we go ahead and get around to the ratings portion of the show? I'm trying to decide whether I want Eric to go. Eric is always the wild card that fucking spoils it, so I'm trying to decide. Let's go to Tori first. Okay, Tori. Eric's pointing to Tori, so we'll come back around to Eric last.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I just wanted to clarify. I didn't have the opportunity to do so before. We mentioned the shaking of the mayo. I just want to make it clear that shaking mayo is typically not something I do. The shaking of the mayo was solely for the gram. So I don't want folks to get it in their brain that that's a normal thing. Hell, if it enhances the quality, if you want to try it at home, God love you, God bless you. I hope it works out for you. But yeah, so just for the sake of transparency, that was for the gram.
My dad's one of those shaker people. He likes to shake everything, whether it says it needs to be shaken or not.
Oh, okay.
That explains what happened to you.
My licking, the fact that I lick everything.
No, the fact that he shook you when you were a kid. That's what happened to your fucking brain. Scrambled your ass.
Yeah, probably true.
So we're sticking to the ratings, right?
Yeah, sticking to ratings.
Ratings. Okay. Yeah. You made something interesting. You stole my thunder twice tonight, Adam. But that's okay. I didn't call you out on the second one. And I'm going to do it better than you anyway.
Wait, what was the second one?
He totally read off your notes.
I know I stole the butter from you because we discussed it.
That's funny because you said it as I was writing it down, so it was parallel thinking.
Yeah. What else did I steal from you?
It was the best supporting actor comment, and I was going to say I don't know if it is award season right now, and I don't. This maybe I'm going to plant a seed here for you, but if we were to give, I don't know, end of the year awards, dare I say, call it a saucy.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know.
All right. That's fun.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Someone write that down.
Maybe have some.
Write that.
I think it's recorded.
Oh well, I'm going to make the group historian, the group research associate. He's going to write it down for us. For the show notes as
but
well.
if you think about it in terms of how those pompous rear ends do it in Hollywood, have a couple of categories and the best one of each, and maybe I don't know. I'm just sort of thinking out loud here.
Saucy awards. I like it.
Here's a question for you though,
Fire.
And I know we're going off the beaten path on ratings here, but should we do that at the 1 year anniversary or should we do it at the end of the year? Or should we do that on our 1 year anniversary? Because as I recently learned, our actual first night recording was July 9th, which is, I think, sooner than we all thought it was.
Yeah.
And that's coming right up.
It is.
In a matter of weeks.
We were sweating like pigs.
So should
we were.
we won't have a full 52 episodes released by that point because we did take a few weeks off in between then.
Hey, well, maybe July is our award season.
Well, that's what I was saying. Should we do that maybe in July as award season? Would that be... Because we already have some kind of like end-of-year stuff lined up, so...
Well, maybe we should tease it and hash out the details. And
yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys... We'll put you on tenterhooks. We'll let you be titillated with theorizing and... Let's get on the fucking ratings.
Yeah. Well, I was landing pretty solidly on Memorial Day when we had this. I knew exactly what I was going to do, and I knew exactly what I was going to say, and it hasn't changed. The Black Forest ham, it elevated it. I mean, it was terrific. It was great. It's a 10. I mean, who am I kidding? It's a 10. It's fabulous mayonnaise. I like mayonnaise to begin with, far more so than that sludge, that white sludge you guys enjoy putting on sandwiches. Yeah, I'm a mayonnaise guy through and through. I've always has been. I can't imagine a setting where this wouldn't excel. I'm thinking, oh my goodness gracious. We talked about tuna fish already. Man, I mean, steak sandwiches. You think about a steak on a griddle, like with nice hot provolone cheese and shoestring French fries. I mean, oh my goodness. It's a 10. No doubt. 10.
I could not be further in agreement with you, Tori.
Oh man, I was going to say.
Because I will say, I have always been a Miracle Whip man through and through, and I like to buy a lot of things in bulk. So oftentimes, I'll buy like the half-gallon things of ketchup, and I'll buy a couple of those at a time because I know how fast I go through them. I also do this with Miracle Whip. Like I'll buy the packs, the double packs or whatever. I'll throw one up on top of the fridge to age while the other one's inside the fridge.
Dude, we don't know if it's acidic or not.
Well, that one I'm not sure about.
Yeah,
I think it's more acidic.
That's still up in the air.
Probably. I will do that, and I will say since I became aware of Duke's, I have not purchased any quantity, or I don't think even used any quantity of Miracle Whip. So I may end up throwing out that jar on top, and I don't think this will ever totally replace Miracle Whip for me. I think there is still a place in my heart, but maybe I'll switch to having a large jar of this, maybe even a couple large jars of this, and a small little container of the Miracle Whip in the back of my fridge, kicking around for certain recipes and stuff. And there have been very few sauces that we've tasted in this podcast that have made that type of a lifelong change to me. The only other one that jumps to mind immediately was the Tabasco Chipotle sauce. That was another one where I knew from the second I had it that shit was a watershed moment. That was a pivotal paradigm shift.
Well said there, Adam.
And that is how I feel as well about this Duke's Mayo. 10 out of fucking 10. I would give it an 11 if I was allowed. If I could give it a fucking 11, I would. But for the sake of, to be fairness to the rest of these, we haven't ever gone above that before for a sauce, and I'm going to leave it at a solid 10 out of 10.
Oh, I was going to cuss. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, fudge sickles.
I think I have to start my tasting off with a quick story about...
You're going to get fucking pummeled, dude.
Having Hellman's real mayo. It was kind of that, like you're saying, Adam, a watershed moment. I remember distinctly being in college. I was living in Bellevue at the time. And I don't know, I'm sure I was looking for Miracle Whip, and maybe they didn't have it or something, and I just grabbed Hellman's real mayo. And I remember having that sandwich and just thinking, oh my God, it's so, like you said, buttery and creamy and just absolutely delicious. And I went for probably a good year of like exclusively having Hellman's real mayo. I think I gained some weight because it's some good shit. And then life happened, and I had to move back home with my parents and whatnot. And then I came, got back on my feet again, and I haven't bought real mayo since. Honestly, I switched back to buying just cheapo off, not even real Miracle Whip, but buying cheap salad dressing. And this is definitely way better than any of what I've been eating, that's for sure.
Bated breath here, E. You're killing us.
So, but yeah, as far as my rating would go, I think it is like you said, a fantastic supporting actor. I think it's a very tasty sauce. I think it's going to get a 6.5.
Oh! You're fucking, he's joking. He's not fucking serious.
6.5 seems totally appropriate.
You're not serious.
It's
you're not fucking serious, Eric. I know you're not fucking serious with a 6.5.
Your ass is gonna get.
I was gonna say 5.5 initially. But
are you serious? You're not joking.
Talking it up.
Well, are you actually not joking?
I'm not joking. 6.5 seems
you've got to be fucking kidding me. You let us on like that. I was so fucking amped up. I thought for sure. You're fucking with me. Yeah, you were fucking with me. You weren't fucking with me. God damn it, Eric.
It's locked in. It's his final answer, Regis Philbin.
Out of the podcast. I am so fucking angry with you right now.
Stand in your ground.
This isn't even gonna come close to our fucking highest rating. This is gonna be 2/3 of the way down the thing now.
Cutting off your nose to spite your face.
It's a great sauce.
You're out of the fucking
versatile,
podcast.
But it's just on its own. It doesn't
Yes,
isn't
it
something
does.
super exciting. It's just so basic of a sauce that,
Yes,
it's something that's
it's
great
perfect.
to build onto.
There's nothing. There's
It's
no way you
something
can make this
great
better.
to cook with, to...
Dude, I think your rating methodology changes every
It
week.
both
Changes every
goes
week.
Yeah.
with everything, but also it still is present and sings. It doesn't get washed out. But how do you make a fucking better version of this? Impossible.
Name one thing.
Yeah, I couldn't taste it on the hamburger, as I said earlier, and
You didn't put enough
I couldn't
on.
taste it on the sandwich. If you're justifying that I need to put a quarter of a cup of,
Oh
You liked it on the tomato, right? You said you did.
I did like it on the tomato. It's
Eric's
tasty.
sole purpose of this podcast is to make me angry. That is why
that is
he
not
keeps
it.
doing
That
this.
sounds
He's like,
mutual, actually.
no, he just. I don't do it to make him angry. I try to help him. He's legitimately just does this now to make me angry.
Oh, man.
He
I'm about
knew-
ready
I
to slap
feel like
this on
that's-
another slice of tomato.
We
I
have
mean, like now.
a fucking opportunity, the only opportunity, and probably the best opportunity so far in the show to have a perfect 10 rating. And Eric says 6 out of 5 with a straight fucking face on.
Yeah, what did you
It's
give?
like 26 and a half overall out of 30 seems very, very generous. I don't know. Seems good.
Wow. So you base your
You're
score on what
definitely
we
not
get.
getting-
No,
fucking-
no,
That's what it
not
sounds like.
That's
Yeah,
not
I
it.
think he does. I think he's always. I think he is like trying to fight us.
Dude,
on
I
this
mean,
shit.
when I give my score, I give a rat's ass less what you guys say. I certainly don't add it up in my head beforehand.
I came in here thinking 5.5. So if anything, you guys did influence
think of
me.
all the fucking.
thinking
He
about-
gave that fucking Twisted Ranch, I think, a higher score. Than
Yeah,
this
he
shit.
gave that garbage pesto, what, a 9?
Yeah, he gave it an 8.5. That
you
pesto.
kidding?
He gave that 2 fucking points higher than this.
Because it's
You're a
delicious.
psychopath.
Yeah.
A pesto has so much more flavor in it than this.
Boys, we might be at
but
fucking
it's a
odds. I don't even
But it's a
know.
pesto?
I honestly don't know.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah.
I am so baffled right now as to what we could choose that we would ever actually get unanimous 10 on.
Oh,
at
the
this point.
contrarian's gonna, I mean, it don't matter.
I feel like he's
I think if
guaranteed to
any
sabotage
sweet
us.
sauce, as we found out, anything that's sugary and sweet, we're all gonna.
From
say
now
it's a 10.
on, I'm going to make him go first, and that way he doesn't get to sabotage. Because I think that's why he wanted to go last, so he could distinctly sabotage us. I'm going to make him write down his ratings on a piece of paper, and then I'll verify he doesn't change it.
Man.
Wow.
Whatever.
maybe in the
Canceling the
future we
fucking
can do that.
podcast. This was the last episode.
6.5.
That's brutal, dude. That is insultingly low.
Wow. Yeah, that's low.
That's hard.
That's not low at all.
Wow,
That's
that
our
is
average, according to your numbers. That's like our real
Yes.
close to our median, like average.
Yes, that's our media. This was so fucking standout. You even liked
So
it.
what's better? What's better than this?
The chocolate shit.
There's
You
tons
like the
of better
fucking chocolate
sauces that I
raspberry.
will-
Okay,
I would
okay, all right,
like better.
okay, all right.
And,
So,
and I think that this
If we put
tastes
fucking
just,
sugar in this, he would like it.
Yeah.
I'd probably more.
so you'd make
Put
chocolate
spice.
and tuna fish salad then?
you put spice in it more. Spice it up like one of their flavors. And I think it's just as good as Hellman's. Maybe if we had a Hellman's here and did side by side, I might be able to tell a difference. But
Oh my god.
I know you guys are saying,
You just
it's
got
so
done
much
telling
better.
us about how you just gained 20 fucking pounds with
Drinking,
Hellman's,
eating Hellman's,
saying how great that was, and then you turn around and give this shit a 6.5, which is like 10 times better than fucking Hellman's.
I'd like to see the side by side.
Oh my fucking god. I'm gonna give you a fucking side by side, a shotgun side by side,
Dude.
fucking bam bam, right through the fucking chest.
Oh, dude, you are.
You hope someone doesn't fucking break in your house and fucking poison your ass or something. Throw you out the fucking
It's
window.
also tiresome.
Defenestrate you, if you will.
Well, you didn't answer my question.
What was your question?
What's better than this?
I think, honestly, if it comes down to just direct flavor, one for one, if I took a lick of ketchup and a lick of this, I might even say the ketchup's more tasty.
Are you fucking kidding? My
'Cause
blood,
it
my
is.
blood
It's got-
pressure has tripled since we've been here tonight.
It's got sugar in it. It's got that vinegar. It's got that pop. This is just
Oh my
creamy,
God.
smooth.
Yeah.
He does do this
I'm
just to make us
comparing-
angry. It's truly just to make us angry. He knew we
Yeah.
were going to give it 10s, and he had to sabotage it.
Yeah, I agree.
He's filled with
No,
rage.
I came in
was
here-
making fun of him earlier about being hopped up on testosterone.
Yeah.
He's getting back at us now by sabotaging us on the mayo.
Like I said,
Maybe it's just bad taste. I mean, you like that
Maybe.
jalapeno lime.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's still
maybe it's
cooking
just
with
my
fucking-
own-
Maybe you just have awful taste.
He's still cooking with yellow sriracha.
and stay
he's got Lee
an old
Cum-
crusty ass
he's-
food.
He's got our lowest rated sauce, Lee Cum Key. He gave that a fucking like 3 episode fucking dedication to it on how great it was.
You started cooking with it. It was so good.
And we gave that a
was
1.
excellent.
We averaged a fucking 1 out of 10 on that, I think. And he's giving this shit a 6.5.
Oh man,
That's disappointing, E.
yeah, that really.
Sorry to let you guys down.
Oh,
I feel like it was a very fair rating.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I don't know
mean,
what we're ever going to give a perfect 10 to.
We'll find something.
The mystery continues. Well, I mean, it's
Let's just go the fuck home
if
right
it
now.
sucks, you like it, and if it's good, you hate it. So I think we might be asked out at this point.
Wow,
if
maybe
Dukes
we are.
didn't hit it, I don't know.
I was so amped up. I was so excited because I thought for sure Eric wasn't going to sabotage it for once. When you said a 6.5, you had a little smirk on your face, and I was 100% sure you were joking. And then when I found out you weren't, my heart shattered. I've never been so betrayed my entire life.
I'm sorry you feel betrayed.
Wow.
I don't know what else to
You're a
say.
contrarian, dude. I don't think there's too much more to it than that.
Maybe I have a little streak of ODD myself, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes. I mean,
We didn't mention that before on the
We
podcast.
didn't.
Now you got to tell listeners what that is.
Obstinate defiant disorder.
Yes, what you've been diagnosed with repeatedly.
yeah.
And Adam-
Along with your arthritis and your
And your gout.
osteoporosis
Yeah.
and your gout and your hangnails and your police brutality and
Your
fucking everything else
dissociative
under the sun.
identity disorder
Get the hell out of
and
here.
your testosterone overdoses.
Get some sun and eat some damn Dukes and shut up.
But you won't tell us what else you're on. Something else has been making you fucking wacky, and this is the fucking culmination of that. All that being said, I guess this is fucking it for Duke's Mayo.
Yeah, I
We'll
guess.
throw it in the fucking trash and take a fucking 6.5 pound shit on top of it when we're done.
Yep, glad you're taking that home. That's for
Jesus.
sure. Glad to have it out of my
Yeah,
face.
Yeah, it would sit here for the next 10 years
I'm-
anyway with the
I'm
ice
gonna
cream.
go fucking scrape the
Right.
stuff off your fucking knife that we used to spread it with because you don't deserve to fucking have any in this house. That being said,
Wow.
what are your
All
fucking
right.
closing thoughts, piece of shit?
You better really kill it here, dude.
I think
You're on
people,
thin ice.
I think people need to calm down and understand other people's point of
Oh my
perspective.
God. That's awful
And,
fucking rich from
you know-
you. Fucking fire it up this second we walked in the door. You're flaming.
I was only provoked by you. So, yeah, take a chill pill. It's summer. Relax. Enjoy. Have some good sauces.
Not this one though. This
Yeah,
is not
apparently not.
6.5 bullshit.
6.5 and put a whole 1.5 above ketchup, and I am a big fan of ketchup, and
Yeah.
I've said it before,
Wow.
so
Brutal.
Right.
it's very, very
Nameless, faceless pesto definitely beats the balls off of this. Gag me with a spoon.
2 points. 2 points for
Yeah,
pesto.
two whole points. You
No,
would-
there wasn't. I didn't dislike the pesto, but 2 whole points above this. Damn.
because it has flavor.
Fucking- this has good flavor, dude. Something's wrong with you. That's what the problem is. You get a 6.5 from me. That's what I fucking think.
You're sticking to the man, dude. No, what can I say?
What do you have for closing thoughts this week, Tori?
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna
Suicide prevention hotline number, maybe? I don't know.
Wow. Wowie. No, what I'm going to say here tonight is we should all look for the good. You happen to find the good. You were looking for the good, and you found it in this clear yellow bottled Duke's mayonnaise. Just absolutely delicious. So you need to look for the good out there, whether it's a terrific mayonnaise, whether it's helping out a good friend, because that'll make you feel good, trust me. Or, hey, just taking care of yourself, going out and getting that sunshine like I told E, or, throwing a weight around or going on your bicycle or whatever the case may be. So look for the good, because the bad will find you. No question. No need to look for it. But hey, that's it. That'll do it for me. We're proud of you. We love you. Be good.
And for me, a little closing thought. We talked about this a little bit before the show, but I just want to go ahead and state on the record for the listeners, if you guys are feeling a little off, if something seems a little wrong, and maybe you've been looking for a sign, a little call to action, like maybe your friends are telling you something's wrong with you, go see a doctor. If you're waiting for a sign from God, this is it. Go see your doctor. If you haven't been in 10 years, if you're in the boat I was a couple of years ago, if you're in the boat that some of us are in now where there's something clearly fucking wrong, and we're self-diagnosing with symptoms, go see your doctor. This is your sign. Go do it. It won't be that bad. Things will probably be better than you're hoping for. You'll probably find a doctor you like that's nice. I'd give a specific recommendation if you're here in Pittsburgh. Hit me up, as I gave to Eric. That's my little call to action for you guys.
My barber is my doctor, actually.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, so I trust him.
That was nice for you to give a closing statement too, Adam. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're not getting any other. I'm canceling all your segments. Tori's in.
Yeah, and I'm taking your ice cream, by the way, too.
Oh, okay.
No cheese, no ice cream.
We're taking
Them's the
everything out of your
rules.
fridge.
Yep.
All right.
Taking
Well,
the cheese too.
Well, if you're not going to eat cheese, then you're certainly
Yeah.
not going to eat ice cream in your own damn
Yeah,
house.
that's
It's been
true.
sitting
No,
here
there's
for
been like
months,
frozen
so-
Certainly
cheese
not
up
gonna
there
eat
forever
mayonnaise.
too.
Yeah.
mayonnaise.
So that's gone. Your ice cream privileges are over.
Canceled. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week for Duke's Mac Mayonnaise, smooth and creamy since 1917, 6.5 rating. Piece of shit.
Yep. Contrarian strikes again.
As always, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Oh, bad news is we're at the end of the show here. But hey, The good news is that we have several other episodes that keep you entertained. And while you're at it, send us an email, saucespoken@gmail.com. If you've had enough of listening to us and like to see us, you can do that too. You can stop over on our Instagram page. It's Sauce Spoken Official. If you wish to get down into the nitty-gritty, we welcome you to do so, and you could probably do that on the website. That's going to be saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have some show notes there. We keep track of the various ratings we give them over the episodes there, so if you wish to dig into the details, that's a great place to do it. In the event some unthinkable calamity, your favorite listening provider is not available, you can fire us up on YouTube. And of course, we'll be out here rattling our empty mayonnaise and mustard jars. If you'd like to donate to us, you certainly can. We are at PayPal at Sauce Spoken. We'll give you a little jingle jangle, maybe a wink and a smile on your way out. Keep in mind, we have stickers available for you. Slap them any which where you like, but they're available to you. If you'd like one, let us know. We'd be happy to send you one. And finally, we have a proprietary cryptocurrency out here. It's what's called Sauce Stoken. We have some details on it on the website. As we close here today, of course, we're going to ask you, please share us with a family member, share us with a friend. Hey, if you're enjoying it, I'm certain they would too. If you could, follow us, give us a rating or a review on that listening platform of your choice. Thank you for listening, and this is Sauce Spoken.
Meanwhile, in a parallel universe, not so very different from our own.
Why don't we go ahead and get around to the ratings portion of the show? I'm trying to decide whether I want Eric to go. Eric is always the wild card that fucking spoils it, so I'm trying to decide. Without further ado, do you want to go ahead and lead us off there, Eric?
Definitely lives up to what it says right on there. It is smooth. It is creamy. It still achieves that buttery flavor, which I think is probably the best, actually. Yeah. I like that. No, I don't really have a whole lot to say other than, it's a really good, worth broadcasting, because it is a very good mayo. So, as far as my rating would go, I think it is like you said, a fantastic supporting actor. I think it is so good. It smells so good. It tastes. I mean, it's a 10. 10? I would give
it an 11 if I was allowed.
Yeah, boy!
Yeah! The crowd goes wild!
It's phenomenal. In my mind, it's perfectly as advertised, and you get and this is definitely way better than any of what I've been eating. Some good shit.